respected guests, delegates, partners, and our beloved startup founders. I'm sure many of you can sense that we are growing, and we are growing fast. And when I'm saying we are growing, it's not just the incubator, but it's a collective growth of all the strategic partners that we have, the startup founders that we have, and all the ecosystem players who work closely with us. Now we did this first founders meet somewhere in December when we were quite small, and we tried to expand quite aggressively. This is our second founders meet. And now we have planned to conduct such physical events on a more often and quarterly basis. We were not able to do so in the past because of the ongoing pandemic scenario, but now things are in place and we plan to do all such events on a quarterly basis. The next upcoming event would be on investors meet somewhere in August, December. The team will be communicating about it. But specifically about the founders meet, it has a threefold purpose, though this is a closed room event, and I'm thankful to our partners who agreed to be a part of this founders meet. So the purpose of conducting such events is not just networking within these startups or introducing new startups which have been onboarded during last quarter. The purpose is threefold. Number one, on one side we see very polished and growth stage startups. I think we already have Mr. Shakti here. So we have startups like Adela Technologies, VDT Pipelines, Simulanis Solutions, Logic Ladder, Constance AI, who are sitting at a valuation of beyond 100 crores and growing quite rapidly. On the other side, we see founders who have just been onboarded under incubation program or acceleration programs, who are looking for such kind of hand-holding and technology support or mentoring support. Of course, we have our in-house pool of mentors or technologists in place. Mr. Ashish Banerjee is here, one of our close friends. But I think the startups who have been working with us closely from the past have a responsibility in place, and the responsibility is to act as mentors for our newly onboarded startups. So one purpose of conducting such meets is for young startups would be to interact with these seasoned entrepreneurs, understand their journey, their challenges, their obstacles, explore synergies together for any kind of technology support, human resource support. I think Startup Jobs founder is here. So any such kind of support, not just reaching out to incubator or ecosystem players for it, but for such kind of support, you already have a in-house community ready to handhold you in a more seasoned and professional manner than maybe someone who would be there from an external ecosystem. So this is one part. Also, we are seeing that there are various seasoned entrepreneurs of successful startups who have started investing in our own startups, which is very exciting for us as well. So there are few startup founders which are a part of our incubation programs who have started investing in the startups. We have seen 2 to 3 such cases. So these seasoned startup founders are also acting as angel investors. So explore, interact, network for such opportunities as well. So this can be a hand-holding support, alum startup mentoring support, and also an opportunity of angel investment out of these seasoned startups. On the other hand, the second area where the purpose of conducting such meets is we have very strong strategic partnerships in place. Now we at IIML EIC are very categoric in terms of undergoing any kind of association with our partners, because we don't want to do a partnership just for the sake of doing an MOU. We want an active partnership, and that's why what all partners you will see here in this room are the ones who are committed, who are serious, who have been tested and verified that they are seriously committed to support our startups or maybe any potential startups across the ecosystem. So we have some potential strategic partnerships from GAIL. ONGC is on way, they are stuck in traffic. We have people from various banks. ICICI Bank is there, Yes Bank is there, even I think HDFC is there, and few others. Now all these organizations are here, number one, for providing you any kind of market access opportunity if they feel and find you interesting and suitable as per their mandate. And second, of course, they are serious investors and they have invested in many startups in the past. They have been working closely with the incubator across the ecosystem. So they are serious investors as well. So try and explore those opportunities in this closed room, because this is a very effective association and an effective program with very limited and selected mob of startups, strategic partners, and industry experts as well. And thirdly, the purpose of conducting such quarterly events, we feel that we should be responsible enough to update our community members at EIC about any kind of achievement or milestone that we achieve within last quarter. So that's a kind of responsibility that we have taken. And we would try to keep you posted and updated about any kind of activity, any kind of milestone that we have achieved during last quarter. And in continuation to it, I'll be presenting just 2 slides about what we have been doing in last 3 to 4 months, so that every one of you is aware of it, and if required, possibly you can explore such kind of support or synergies or association with those partners or anything which is relevant to the achieved milestones of the incubator. Okay, so the very first news that I would like to highlight here is that we found that providing investment support is one of the key factors for any startup, and for getting any kind of seed support, be it as low as 5 lakh rupees or maybe up to a range of 50 lakh rupees, is a crucial factor. And if we can bring this kind of support and facility within our incubator, it can be of great support to our in-house incubators and accelerators, of course. And thus we reached out to Ministry of Science and Technology, requested them to provide us some seed funding support, and we are pretty thankful to the ministry for sanctioning us an amount of 3 crore rupees, which we would be investing in these startups which are a part of various programs at the incubator. So we have achieved NIDHI Seed Fund support under the NIDHI Seed Fund Program of Ministry of Science and Technology, where an amount of 3 crore rupees has been sanctioned to the incubator, which is about to arrive and hit the accounts possibly by end of August, and then we can roll out the process of providing fund support. Second good news, that parallelly we were also requesting our host organization IIM Lucknow for similar kind of seed fund corpus. Unfortunately, basis our intentions, basis our future roadmap and our past record, IIM Lucknow has been kind enough to provide us a seed fund corpus of 5 crore rupees again, which is already in our accounts, and we have initiated the process of providing fund support to first lot of few incubators. And obviously we'll make sure that by end of this financial year, almost all of our incubators and accelerators are getting some kind of fund support under any of these schemes. And thirdly, we have also received a fund support of 5 crore again from Startup India Seed Fund Program. Here, the startups who have enrolled in last 2 years, who have been incorporated in last 2 years, and are at prototype stage or commercialization stage, can apply on Startup India portal, select us as their funding partner, and we'll take up the process. First round of committee interaction with few of the selected startups has already been done. So that process has also been initiated. So with a total cumulative corpus of around 13 crores, our intention and our idea is to make sure that we provide seed fund support to all the incubators at stage 1 and accelerators, of course. And stage 2, we would be exposing them to our corporate venturing partners, to the pool of investors that we have. We have a very active association with V Founders Circle, which is the second largest venture capital firm of India. So we will make sure that not just a seed round, but consecutive rounds in terms of providing fund support, maybe for $1 million or even above, should be facilitated and being supported by the incubator and its team. Another great milestone that we achieved during last quarter was launching our first acceleration program. So now there will be two verticals in terms of running and supporting these startups. Actually three. One is the pre-incubation, which is specifically for aspiring entrepreneurs. Second is the ongoing flagship incubation program, which is for MVP to early stage startups. And third, which we have recently launched, is for early to growth stage startup, which is an acceleration program. The incubation program and pre-incubation program are the ones which are sector agnostic and open for anybody who has potential and is inclined to work on the startup idea. But acceleration programs would be sector focused and stage focused. We have opted for 5 different sectors where these acceleration programs would be running in association with various corporates. The areas are deep tech and artificial intelligence, fintech, agri-tech, sustainability, and edutech. The very first program that we have recently launched is in the area of deep tech and IoT. We thought that we are pretty expert in commercialization and business part of any startup journey, though we have our in-house technology labs. But for supporting any advanced level of deep tech technology, we would require some kind of support from any of those IITs, and we reached out to IIT Kanpur, Technopark, for similar support. So this has happened first time ever in India that an IIM and IIT have joined hands together and launched a specific acceleration program in the area of deep technology. We have already onboarded 7 such accelerators. Few of them are present here and they would be introducing themselves on the stage down the line. So that has been one of the milestones, and you will see another acceleration program being launched once we meet next time in any such event or maybe upcoming investors meet. Another update in terms of the startups that we have onboarded in the last quarter, the number has risen immensely by 57%, and currently we are supporting 44 such startups. There are few which are in pipeline. We are targeting to support and close more than 80 such startups by end of this financial year. And by next financial year, we are making sure to cross the number as 100. So as you can see, we are going quite aggressive in terms of not just expanding the programs, in terms of providing fund support, but also onboarding new and more potential startups which can leverage the support from IIM Lucknow EIC. Now second and last slide, since we are presenting such format for the first time, the numbers that you see here on the screen right now are very crucial to us because this is the journey so far. We have, as mentioned, we have onboarded more than 44 incubators under the incubation program, and these incubators were successfully able to generate more than 7 IPs. We have helped startups under various programs to raise more than 75 crores of funding support with the help of our network of investors and VC firms. By this year, when we have 3 more sources of funding support, I'm sure by next year you will see a much larger number in terms of fundraise by our startups. 6 accelerators or startups under acceleration program has been onboarded, and these startups have been able to generate more than 500 of jobs across the ecosystem, because the core idea for us being an incubator and supported by Government of India is to support startups, because in turn they would generate more jobs and wealth and would contribute in the success of the nation. we have onboarded more than 25 mentors, did around 21 strategic partnerships. Through various kind of initiatives and programs that we ran in the area of training, in the area of incubation, acceleration, corporate venturing, we were able to impact more than 1,200 such startups till date, which is a huge number, we personally feel. And the startup valuation portfolio, interestingly, what you see here is more than 1,100 crores, right? So this simply means the startups which are working with our incubation center cumulatively hold a valuation of more than 1,100 crores, which I personally feel is a huge number from an incubator's point of view. And this is going to increase quite exponentially from now on. And interestingly, the last number, what you see here is, I don't think many incubators in India have been doing this, but we have designed a specific program along with V Founder Circle, where we reached out to the ecosystem. We found that there are various HNIs who were looking for such programs where they can understand about startup investment life cycle and what is the process that is involved in terms of how to invest in the startup. So we designed a program with the name Investopreneur. We are about to launch the third cohort because we are getting a very strong and solid response from the ecosystem. Till now we have implemented 2 such cohorts in the last quarter. And surprisingly, we have been able to train 28 such certified angel investors, which were HNIs earlier and were eager to invest in the startups. So we designed a program and hand-holded them. So now we can claim that we have also not just created startups, but we have started creating angel investors as well. And in the next investors meet, you would get an opportunity to interact with all of them. And that's how we're trying to build this complete ecosystem where it's not just about the incubator or not just about partnerships, not just about startups, but a collective and comprehensive growth of the ecosystem in India. And by next year, you will see that we are expanding globally. We would have new partnerships, not just in India, but across the globe, where we are trying to explore such kind of partnerships with countries like Canada, UAE, Singapore, specifically the countries who have very strong and vibrant startup ecosystem, so that our startups which are expanding and have plans to go global can get some kind of soft lending support down the line. So welcome you all and make best use of what you have today. All the best. Thank you.